Welcome to Tennis Espresso Journal, your updated grades debate. If you got your coffee ready, let's then get down to the pages.
So now we're going to talk about the champion level. What is the champion level? Well, based on the Vonder Index and Tennis Espresso Journal rankings, we do have the three main criteria used to define the GOAT, which are rankings, titles, and matches. Under that criteria, we have 9 metrics. And if those 9 metrics are applied vertically, we do have the best guys in titles, we do have the best guys in rankings, and the best guys in matches, or the best guys in rivals, which matches and rivals are basically the same thing. You gotta beat your rival, that's it. So under those 3 criteria, if we analyze them vertically in the Vonder matrix, we do have those 3 rankings established, which are here too. But whenever we got them horizontally, then you have a sort of a different ranking. The result is exactly the same. They all result in the Vonder Index ultimate ranking, but their intake, the perspective is different. So from the champion level, we do analyze only the best, the top criteria in all of those rankings. So, for example, here we have year ends number 1 only. The entire year, not a week, not 2. The entire year, you got to be the champion of that year. Grand Slams, we only take into account Grand Slams. We do not take into account big titles or finals or whatever. No, only Grand Slams. And we only check how is your head-to-head against your rivals. If you're a GOAT, your rivals are a top 5 guys of the sport, are top guys of the sport. The rival of a GOAT is also a GOAT. The rival of an ATG is also an ATG, an all-time great. So we do have only this tier versus top 5, which is basically versus the guys that you're fighting against to be the best. And interestingly, we found that number 1 in versus top 5 is Bjorn Borg. Number 1 in Grand Slams, we have the 3 guys that we know, the big 3, and number 1 in year ends is Djokovic. Most likely Djokovic, but he's still tied with Sampras. Anyway, they're there. And whenever we make that ranking, the champion ranking, we found out that Djokovic is number 1, Rafael Nadal is number 2, and Roger Federer number 3. The 4th is Sampras, but the 5th guy is not Lando like in the ATG ranking. It is Bjorn Borg. Then we have Ivan Lendl, John McEnroe, Jimmy Connors, Rod Laver, Andre Agassi. I'm sorry, I got confused here. The number 5th is Bjorn Borg, not Ivan Lendl. Pete Sampras is there, is the 4th place. But Ivan Lendl is being replaced by Bjorn Borg, mostly due to versus top 5 record. And here we have this our listing. And inside top 10 we also have Rod Laver that we did not have before. He's replacing Boris Becker, mostly also because it's top 5. And Jimmy Connors is being surpassed by John McEnroe too. The elite level of tennis. So the elite level of tennis is somewhat different. It doesn't really take only the full year or only Grand Slams or only top 5. No, it's kind of a mid-tier, kind of more professional, high-level tennis. The elite, the capacity of a tennis player of playing his highest level throughout his entire career. So we measure here weeks number 1, which is Djokovic is the best, big titles, which also goes to Djokovic, and the record versus top 10 players. Top 10 players are not exactly all ATGs or GOAT candidates. They're the very best guys in the sport, but not necessarily that great, as a top 5 would suggest. But still a very good measurement, a mid-section measurement of greatness. And here we have Bjorn Borg as a top dog again. So in this ranking, we do have, in this the elite ranking, we do have Novak Djokovic at first, and by a lot. He's at first and by a lot, because the guy is like really, really good in every one of them. He's basically the best in every one of them, in every single one of them, except for top 10s. He's followed by Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and then Pete Sampras. The fifth guy is Ivan Lendl. This one replicates the all-time great rankings, the GOAT ranking by Vonder Half Index. And Rod Laver here surpasses Andre Agassi and Boris Becker there too. Alright, the next one is career rankings. The career rankings measures the capacity of a tennis player being very good from the beginning, very young age, until his retirement. So it really pictures the entire career of a tennis player and his consistency and capacity of playing at high level throughout his entire active time. The number one in this ranking is Roger Federer. He's also the number one in weeks as top 10. In all titles, the biggest one is still Connors, Open Euro of course. And career versus all, the top dog is Novak Djokovic. Very important ranking here. He's followed by Nadal, and then Bjorn Borg is third. But that's a very interesting thing to notice. Anyway, the career ranking gives Roger Federer as being fourth, Jimmy Connors as being second, Rafael Nadal third, Novak Djokovic as fourth. Then I have Ivan Lendl, John McEnroe, Andre Agassi, Bjorn Borg, Pete Sampras is ninth. The reason why Pete Sampras is so low on that list is because he did not care much about the ending of his career. He was only playing like slams. He didn't care if he was winning or losing. So he's kind of ahead a little, not really caring this much in the later stages of his career. That's why he's a little bit down. Same with Boris Becker. And we may say that, Rod Laver actually didn't. We cannot say much about Rod Laver because we didn't have the pre-Open era data taken into account. But in any case, yeah, and Bjorn Borg kind of the same, because he simply gave up. I'm not playing anymore. At 26 years of age, he didn't got many weeks as top 10, didn't get as many titles, so he was a little bit down, but he still got a very high winning percentage throughout his career though.